Hi, welcome to today's slow flow. For today's practice, you are just going to want a block or a shoebox will work great for what we're using today. And we're going to start in a reclined position. Make your way to your back body, taking your time as you get there with these slow flows. Again, it sometimes feels like a challenge. Sometimes it feels like a gift to move a little slower than you typically would. So maybe you start with some windshield wipers, knees falling side to side, or a moment or two in stillness with feet pressed into the mat, knees pointing up towards the sky. Eventually we'll meet in reclined bound angle where the soles of the feet press together. Knees fall open to either side. Hands resting where it feels grounding for you. That might be on your belly, might be palms pressed into the floor down by your hips. Giving ourselves just a handful of breaths here. Know that in some bodies, this shape feels really comfortable and easy right off the bat. That is not my body. This shape is a pretty intense hip opener for me. So if you're in that boat or anywhere along the spectrum, just honoring what you're feeling in your body. Take care of yourself as you need to. Breathing here. Just about 2 more cycles of breath. Or 2 more snores of Teton if you can hear that. Keeping your left knee where it is. Bring your right knee on top of it. Open up your right arm to a T or a cactus shape. Gaze over that right shoulder. You can open your left arm as well, but I like to keep one hand on my body. Breathing into the twist. Inhales, filling that torso. Exhales, pressing out all of that air. When you're ready, look back up towards the ceiling if you've twisted the neck. Bring your knees back to reclined bound angle, so right knee opens up to the right side. Then left knee stacks on top of right. Left arm opens to a T or a cactus shape. Gazing over that left shoulder if it feels good in the neck. Breathe here. Wait for your next inhale. Use that to bring yourself back to center, left knee towards the left. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring the knees together to point up towards the sky, soles of the feet press into the mat. Then hug the knees into your chest. Giving yourself like 3 or 4 rock and rolls up and down the spine before you eventually make your way to an easy seat. Notice here that foot that you naturally put in front, swap it out today. Inhale, sit up tall. Arms can reach up towards the sky. On an exhale, fold forward. Hands reaching in front of you. Not inching as far forward as possible, but focusing more on letting the upper body be heavy. Chin tucks towards the chest. Hips anchored behind you. Give yourself 3 rounds of breath here. Next inhale, walk your hands back in towards your body. Extending that left leg long, keep your right foot in, Janu Shashasana. So we're seated here with that right foot pressing into the inner left thigh. Right hand comes outside the hip. On an inhale, lift your hips, reaching those left fingertips. Exhale, sit back down to Janu Shashasana. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to sit back down. Now you continue working with your pace of breath if that feels good, or if it feels better to spend a few rounds of breath in either shape, you're more than welcome to. I'll give myself one more cycle. Meeting next time you're seated in that Janu Shashasana, left leg extended long. Turn your shoulders to face that extended left leg. Fold forward over that left thigh. Breathe in and out. Another breath in and out. Walk your hands in towards your body. Other side, right leg extends long, left sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Get that base here first. Left hand plants outside of the hip. Inhale, lift the hips, fingertips reach. Exhale, sit back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, back down. Again, keep working with your pace of breath, or give yourself extra time in either shape. Totally fine. Working with what feels right for you. We'll pause the next time you're seated, no rush to get there. When you find the seat, turn your shoulders towards that right extended leg. Fold over the right thigh. Breathe in and out. In and out. Walk your hands back in, returning to a seat, and then shifting into tabletop. Hands under your shoulders, knees under hips. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Exhale, round your spine, press away from the mat. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, return to neutral. Then look over your left shoulder, bringing left shoulder towards left hip. Come back to center. Look over right shoulder towards right hip. Back to center. Another round on either side. Pausing when you're back at neutral. Tuck your toes if they aren't tucked already. Inhale, lift the knees just about an inch or two above the mat. Holding here in a hover hold, engaging that core. Press into all of your fingertips. When you're ready, knees come to the mat, toes stay tucked. Walk your hands back towards your body for plantar stretch. You might sit all the way in your heels. You might keep some weight forward. Giving yourself a moment to here. Breathing into that sensation you feel in the soles of the feet. On an inhale, come up to standing on the knees. I'm going to lift my arms. Exhale, twist towards the right. Hips sink back down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Now you can keep going with this, or if that feels too intense in the soles of the feet, twist the upper body, but don't sink your hips down. Sometimes standing on the knees with toes tucked is plenty. So listen to what's right for you. Work at your pace. We'll even out on both sides. And when that's complete, come back to standing on your knees. Untuck the toes, hands come to the mat. And I like to do a little yogi stampede, tapping out the top of the feet. Waking up Teton. Pause with the feet settled. Then walk your hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes and lift your hips, coming into a shorter down dog. So I'm going to walk my feet in a little bit and then wider, so the edges of my feet are even hanging off the mat. Bringing right hand outside of your left ankle, downward facing dog twist. So you have your stance as short and as wide as you need to make this grip. Maybe even looking under that left armpit area. Breathe in and out. Right hand comes back to the mat, other side. Left hand reaches for that right calf and ankle area. Again, you might adjust differently on this side. Finding the stance that's right for you. Give yourself a full breath. And release, hands to the mat. Return to your typical down dog. Nice and slow, inhale, sweep right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it outside of right hand, lizard pose. Gonna lower the back knee and untuck the toes. Bring that block or shoebox under your chest. So we're creating a little more space in the upper body. You can stay right here, or right hand reaches behind you, opening the chest. You can stay right here, or bend the back knee, reaching for those back toes. But notice, if you have to curl down to make that grip, release it. Wherever you are, give yourself a breath, probably two. Then toes back to the mat, hand back to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, sweep left leg up. Exhale, lizard on the other side, left foot outside of the left hand. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Hands come to that block for a little more space. Stay right here if this feels good, or open up the left arm. Again, goal here is the openness of the chest. If you want to add in that quad stretch, bending the back knee, reaching for the toes, go for it, but only if you can keep the chest open. If we're rounding down, we're getting rid of some of those chest opening benefits we're looking for. Breathe here. When you're ready, release toes to the mat, hand to the mat. Can shift the block out of the way, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Walking your hands back, handprint by handprint. Come to an Uttanasana forward fold at the back of the mat. Knees have a real generous bend to them. Upper body hangs heavy over the thighs. Even go ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Can sway side to side. Gently shake the head yes or no. Gentle being the operative word there. Really letting that upper body drape over the low body. Next breath or two, release any bind or grip you have. Inhale, find a half lift. Pause here for a full cycle of breath. Squeezing the elbows in towards the side body. Press your sit bones back. Next breath, fold back down. Using about 2 rounds of breath, slowly begin to roll up to a standing position. Bringing the shoulders up towards the ears and then slide them down the back. Palms can face forward. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist, right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist other side, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, back to center, engage the glutes. Exhale, elbows pull down for cactus. Pause here for a full cycle of breath, keeping that low body engaged. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands forward, just handprint by handprint, passing through downward facing dog to plank here. Toes or knees, wherever you feel stronger. Coming into side plank, right hand comes under the face, heels can drop towards the right, left arm reaches towards the sky. Now you might have one knee down, supporting you here in modified side plank. Next breath, come back to center. Other side, heels to the left, right arm reaches. Come back to center. On an inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes and take your left arm out wide, pressing that palm into the floor. Bend the right knee. Then open your hip towards the right. Right foot taps behind you. Pausing here in what's sometimes called a scorpion. Giving yourself a moment. Come back to center. Other side, left hand comes under the shoulder. Right arm extends long. Bend the left knee. Open the hip towards the left. Left foot taps behind you. Give yourself a moment. Come back to center. Both hands under shoulders, toes tuck. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Rotates, right hand under the face, heels towards the right. Left arm lifts. Maybe that right knee is lowered. Next breath, hand to the mat, heels to the left, right arm lifts. Maybe that left knee lowers. Come back to center. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up, you can look up. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Taking a moment here, hands plant into the mat. Right foot steps back for low lunge. Right hand can plant into block or mat. Left arm opens to the sky. Giving yourself a full breath here. Press the heel away from you. Back thigh lifts towards the sky. Take a moment to feel that core, engage the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, lift to open revolved crescent. Right arm is forward, left arm is back. Take up as much space as you can. Each breath, the fingertips reach a little wider, feeling that strength you're building in the low body. Then almost like you're a seesaw, right hand comes back to the mat, left towards the sky. Left hand back to the mat, low lunge. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands for the other side. Left foot steps back. Left hand plants into block or mat. I like a fist here. Right arm opens to the sky. Find that openness in the chest. Feel the strength in the low body. Pressing that back heel away from you. Back of the head presses back just a bit. Inhale, lift to open revolved crescent, other side. Right arm is back, left forward. Take up all that space you can. Hips are pointing forward, shoulders open to the side. Keep that length here between the hands as left hand tick-tocks down, right hand back to the mat, low lunge. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more at your pace. Next, inhale, arms reach up, you can look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back to a plank position. Toes or knees wherever you feel stronger. When you're ready, lower all the way down to the mat. Untucking your toes. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Just as high as feels good. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog or a child's pose or a tabletop for about 3 rounds of breath here. I'm going to add some movement to my down dog, pedaling out the legs because that feels good. You're welcome to do whatever feels best for you here. Eventually meeting back in that down dog if you're continuing to flow. Inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior 2. Back foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Arms at shoulder height. Press into the blade edges of both feet. Inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, left arm comes overhead. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hips reach back, fingertips forward, triangle. Holding here for a couple of breaths. Goal is to have the chest open, left hand can stay lifted or bring it to low back. Right arm reaches towards the floor, but it doesn't have to touch. Press into both feet. Inhale, lift to your reverse or peaceful triangle. Right arm reaches overhead, left fingers down the back leg. Press into your front toes. Breathe in and out. Hands come to shoulder height. Turn your toes to the long edge of the mat. Wide leg forward fold. Everything hangs heavy here. You can go opposite hand, opposite elbow, maybe sway side to side. Hands can rest into the mat or a block if the mat feels far away. Checking in where the weight of your body is. Shifting it towards the heels and blade edges of the feet in this fold. When you're ready, adding in some rotates. Right hand plants under the nose, left arm towards the sky. Next breath, left hand plants under the nose, right arm towards the sky. Can keep going with these twists at the pace of breath, or you can release it if the twists don't feel great. Go a little slower if that feels better for you. Even out on both sides. We'll meet in a wide leg forward fold. When you get there, no rush. Inhale, find a half lift, shoulders towards hip height. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Walk your hands towards your back foot, bending into that left knee. You can pause here for a side lunge or sink the hips down for Skandasana. That left heel will likely lift. Right heel presses into the floor, toes towards the sky. I like a right arm opening up towards the sky, opening up the chest. Left hand still a little like tripod for me on the mat. You can play with bringing that left hand to your heart if a balance challenge feels fun, maybe. Give yourself a moment. Then from wherever you are, side lunge or skandasana, keep your hips nice and low as you Spider-Man crawl back to low lunge at the top of the mat. Toes pivot so they're pointing forward. Step back to a plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, take your feet wide this time. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Just as high as feels good. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees, hips up and back to downward facing dog. Few rounds of breath between sides. Tabletop, maybe a drink of water or some movement in that down dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior two on the other side. Back foot's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Arms are at shoulder height. Breathing here as you press into that front blade edge of the foot, back blade edge of the foot. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm comes overhead. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hips reach back, fingertips forward. Triangle. Keeping the openness in the chest, right fingertips can reach or come to low back. We can have a tendency to want to put that hand down as far as we can, thinking that's the best version of the pose. But goal here is an open chest. So your hand might be near the shin like mine, might be closer to the knee, maybe closer to the thigh, whatever works for you. You're pressing into both feet equally. Then lift your upper body for reverse or peaceful triangle. Left fingertips lift, left toes press into the mat. Breathe in and out. Hands come to shoulder height. Turn left toes to long edge of the mat. Wide leg forward fold. Yogi's choice here, you can go opposite hand, opposite elbow, kind of sway side to side. Add in those plank rotates if they felt good. Or if you'd like to shift to a malasana, you can bring your heels in and sink your hips down. Whatever works for you. Malasana can feel really good in some low backs. So if this forward fold feels like it's a little too much pressure in your low back, holding that upper body, play with a malasana here. If malasana does not feel like your jam, you don't have to. Got a few more breaths, whatever you're choosing to try out, wherever you're choosing to add in movement or stillness. Next breath or two, meeting back in that wide leg forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shoulders towards hip height. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Bend into your right knee, hand shift towards the right. You can pause in side lunge or sink down to skandasana. Left heel presses into the mat, toes towards the sky. Left arm can open up towards the sky. Notice here, I have to engage my quad a little bit, or my back of my knee really wants to sink down, kind of that hyperextended position. So notice if you need a little engagement in that bottom leg, top leg, I guess, depending on how you're thinking of it, the extended one. One more breath. Then hands come to the mat. Keep your hips nice and low. Spider-Man crawl to low lunge. Step back to plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, take your fingertips wide this time. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower right shoulder, right ear towards the mat. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, lower left shoulder, left ear towards the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower forehead to the mat. Hands come under shoulders. Inhale, press back to a child's pose. Knees as wide or as narrow as it feels good. Arms can stay reaching forward, or I like a little pillow under my forehead, stacking the back of the hands. Handful of breaths here. Checking back in with your body, back in with your breath, smoothing it out. Give yourself 2 more breaths here. When that's complete, can shift your way to a tabletop for a moment, then make your way to a down dog when you're ready. Pressing into both hands equally. Inhale, sweep right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, low lunge. Left hand stays planted, right arm opens to the sky. Right fingertips reach up. Using your core, lift to that open revolved crescent. Right arm is back, left forward. You can stay right here or bring your back hand to the back thigh. Left arm overhead. Revolved warrior. Back leg stays nice and strong like you're pressing that thigh into the hand. Generous bend in the front knee. Unwind left arm back, left arm forward, right back. Inhale, arms come to frame the face. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Breathe in and out. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle, right hand comes overhead. Press into the front toes. Next breath, bend into the front knee. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat for low lunge. Step right back to downward facing dog. Hips lifted, press into both hands. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Revolved low lunge. Right hand or fist plants into the blocker mat. Left arm lifts. Using this space in the chest, lift your upper body, keeping that nice wide base, nice wide arm span, wingspan. Left hand can come to the back thigh if that's available. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Back thigh presses into the hand. Front knee keeps that nice, generous bend. Right arm reaches forward, left back. Inhale, arms come up to frame the face. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Back foot parallel to short edge of the mat. I typically have to adjust my back foot for comfort, so find what works for you. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reverse or peaceful triangle. Press into the front toes. Reach through the fingertips. When you're ready, bend into the front knee. Cartwheel the hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, hips down and back for chair. Hands come to heart, using the thumbs like a magnet to pull the sternum there. Hips stay nice and low. Now you're welcome to take our twists from this chair position, Or you can shift into toe stand, heels come off the mat, hips lower down towards your heels. So maybe you're in chair, maybe you're in toe stand. Wherever you are, that chest keeps pulling towards your thumbs. Then open your arms for cactus, keeping a tall spine. Twist towards the right, right elbow back, left forward. Come back to center. Twist towards the left, left elbow back, right forward. Come back to center. One more on either side for good luck. Come back to center, to the left, back to center. And from wherever you are, if you're in chair, begin to lower, make your way to a seat. Soles of the feet come together, creating some space here. Pull the heels away from your body so you've got a nice diamond shape rather than a tight butterfly. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, fold over the shape here. Hands can rest on your toes. 'Tis the season where my toes are always freezing, so you can warm them up a little here. Or you might bring your hands, your forearms under the shins. In some bodies, this feels really grounding and good. In some bodies, it just feels funky. So allow yourself to settle wherever it feels best. Breathe here. Imagining with each breath, you ground down a little more into the seat. Almost like your feet get a little heavier, your hips get a little heavier, your knees get a little heavier, shoulders round forward. You're doing great. In your next breath or two, lift your upper body out of the fold, bringing your knees together, soles of the feet to the mat. Great time to grab a drink of water. You'll also want your block along with you as you make your way to a reclined position. Block is within reaching distance, meeting with your hips, shoulders, head, all supported by the floor beneath you. Feet are at about hip distance. Knees point up towards the sky. Inhale, lift your hips just high enough to slide the block under your sacrum at a height that feels supportive. Hands can rest on the belly, down by the floor, palms face down, or open to like a cactus or even overhead if that feels good in the chest. No right or wrong. Breathe here. Two more breaths right where you are. When that's complete, lift your hips just high enough to slide that block out from under you, lowering the hips back down. Coming in to our fetal position, or rather our supine twist, a little differently today. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Let your arms come out to a T or a cactus shape. And then keeping your knees as close to your chest as you can, lay the knees down towards the left side of your body. Now once your knees, or one side of your knees, contacts the floor, and you want to adjust your base, you're more than welcome to. Finding the twist that feels right for you. Breathe here. Next inhale, come back to center, hugging the knees in once again. Other side, lay the knees down towards the right, adjusting once your legs meet the floor. Finding the shape you can soften into. Breathe here.